Bueno, lo voy a intentar, ¿eh? Estamos en vivo desde el Hilton Cocoa Beach, donde en minutos nomás la Agencia Espacial Europea va a dar la conferencia. Ahí está. Conferencia. Yo me quedo en vivo. Hoy voy a tratar de focalizar la cámara en el panel. Y espero que escuchen bien. Yo no tengo idea si me van a escuchar bien o no, pero la idea es tratar de traerles la conferencia post lanzamiento de Euclid. Así que por acá nos quedamos. Para los que recién llegan, les quiero contar que estamos un poquito atrasados. Yo me quedo en vivo, pero estamos esperando la conferencia de prensa después del lanzamiento del telescopio Euclid. Así que acá estamos, lift off. Hola Manuel, gracias por conectarte, saludos. Así que estamos esperando. Yo ya seteé las cámaras, espero que no tengamos problemas con el audio porque no estoy usando ningún micrófono específico más allá del mío personal. Así que espero que cuando empiece la conferencia, aunque sea con el sonido ambiente, la puedan escuchar. La quería compartir, así que nos quedamos acá en vivo. Hola Roxana, ¿cómo estás? Gracias por sumarte y los dejo acá. Estamos esperando, está un poquito la conferencia, el inicio de la conferencia está un poquito atrasado. Bueno, a minutos nomás de pensar. Están llegando ya gran parte del equipo de la misión Euclid, que nos dijeron que estaban demorados en el tráfico. Yo voy a cortar este micrófono y seguramente voy a estar manejando las dos cámaras de otro lado. Y ojalá puedan tener el audio que corresponde.
It's important, stressful to watch and stressful to comment. You can imagine all the tension and all the pressure that is on all the people, and this is not only on us, on all the people, that something might go wrong, and of course we're always very anxious that everything goes well. So I can tell you it was really a fantastic launch in terms of insertion of the spacecraft into orbit, separation. We have all followed it very closely, so this is really excellent, and I'm really grateful also to SpaceX for having delivered our mission into the orbit, which now, of course, makes Euclid travel to its final destination, that is that launch point 2. Of course, but now we are at the state where the various instruments are being switched on. This takes a couple of weeks, as I've said earlier. So this is a normal procedure. So we can of course not yet make any comments on the performance of the instruments, but this will be done in due time by our people. Let me say just a few words though what this means for ESA. This is a very important mission for the European Space Agency. We have quite a few high-profile missions in space science. We just launched the JUICE a few weeks ago. Again, JUICE was an incredible mission from a science point of view, but also from a technology engineering point of view. You have all followed it, and Euclid is now the next one in a row, different in terms of its information it is providing. Of course, this looks at cosmology, dark matter, dark energy, which are completely fascinating topics for everyone. This is working in theories, and we hope that Euclid will shed some light on these theories of how dark matter, how dark energy might work. I have to say that scientists, of course, will confirm that these are working hypotheses, these dark matter, dark energy principles, because simply there are observations we make which are difficult to explain, and we need a way of explaining them, and this is why we use this dark worlds of dark matter and dark energy, because they can explain some phenomena, but still scientists are in search of a good explanation of how the whole universe is working, is expanding in particular, and how many aspects function. So this really is a mission that will open completely new domains of science. It will certainly help the world, humankind, to understand much better how the universe is expanding, is developing into the future, possibly also where it comes from. And these are big questions for every human being who wants to understand where do I come from, where do I go, and Euclid certainly contributes to answering some of these questions and how it is being measured. Where Euclid is really scanning the wider horizon of the universe and covering 1/3 of the whole universe, as we can see from this Lagrange point of view. Let me also take a minute to really thank those who have made this success possible. The member states of ESA, first and foremost, because they have funded the mission, they have approved the mission, they have made it possible. Of course, the science community, you know that the science missions are defined by the science community, and they have all the way accompanied this mission in the definition, in the development of instruments. This is quite a major task, and Carol will for sure elaborate a bit on this, but this is a science-driven mission, and this is a very important community which we are serving with Euclid, but also industry. We're very glad to have Harvey with us today, the CEO of Thales Alenia Space, and the prime contractor of the mission. Of course, there were many other companies involved, altogether 80 companies to develop the mission, also the various elements of the spacecraft, the instruments, and so on, with or through 140 industrial contracts that have been conducted. I would also like to use this occasion to thank NASA. Also, NASA has contributed to this mission through several elements, the detectors to the infrared instrument, but also one of the 9 science centers of Euclid is funded and is run by NASA. 8 of them are in Europe, but also NASA has been very actively participating in the various aspects of the mission. We have Nikki Fox with us. Thank you so much for your contributions. And of course, last but not least, I really would like to take this occasion to thank my own team in ESA, Carol and her directorate, but also our colleagues from the operations department, operations directorate, so in ESOC, who have been following and guiding the various steps of the mission, but also all the other directorates that have been involved. Quite a lot of people have been waiting for this moment. 10 years of development, now it is on its way to do science, and in a couple of weeks we will see the first images. So really very grateful, very happy at this stage here. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph, and it's lovely to be back here today. So many of you were in the room yesterday when we did the press conference. We talked about the science, we talked about the instruments, and we had a really good pre-briefing. But of course, we come back, as Joseph says today, with a big smile on our face, huge relief, I think, in every bone in our body. And I just have to add my thanks. It's been an incredible piece of work. I think, just thanking the teams overnight. But the SpaceX teams, but our ESA project teams. Mike Healy's just walked in the room now, name checking him as he walks in. He's not slept all night, nor have his team, right up until the minute of the launch and after. And then, of course, our wonderful colleagues at ESOP, when they took over. We saw the acquisition of Signal. This is my second launch in 4 months. I think I'm utterly addicted. It's just a phenomenal achievement. I think when you see everything work smoothly. And then, of course, onto the science side, technology and the engineering. Incredible European leadership there in terms of the structures of the telescopes, silicon carbide, as we heard yesterday. Very stiff material, thermal properties, very ideal for this mission. Also the detectors, again, thanks to Nikki for the science that we're going to do. And also on the optical side, and working across Europe to bring this technology to fruition. And I think when you see all of this work together, also our review committees, because as these processes go through, when we get to this moment, we make it all look easy. But of course, we have our committees, and we have our due diligence, we're checking on our finances, we're constantly having our reviews of the technology and making sure that everything is on track. And I think for me, what's so humbling is the long-term nature of this program. And as Director of Science, I feel that weight of responsibility and the huge honour to take on this role. I'm a custodian of this project. So many people have congratulated me today, but they're not congratulations for me to take. They're for me to pass on to all the teams, all of our science communities, who now will work very hard to commission this mission over the next 2 months, and then the next 6 years of the mission. information. And the legacy data will be immense. That will be hosted in Spain finally, when it comes back from online data centres. And we'll answer questions that we haven't yet asked, in addition to hopefully telling us what the nature of dark matter and dark energy is. So we need to think about that long term. We have, you know, all sorts of different geopolitical situations. You think what you were doing 15 years ago, did you think you'd be sitting here today? We need to be good custodians of this program, because this is incredibly inspiring. And I've seen some photographs come back from my team already where they've been showing the live stream, and children in the room looking and watching us on the screen. That's the next generation of scientists and engineers. So I'll stop there. I know many of us, we had conversations yesterday, and it's my great pleasure to pass on to my counterpart at NASA, Nikki Fox.
Right, thank you so much. It is just really wonderful to be here and sharing the joy that was the launch today. Obviously, congratulations to ESA, and thank you to SpaceX for that. It really was a picture perfect launch. And it's just, I'm with Carol, I'm totally addicted, I'm a launch junkie, and it's just the most exciting day where you realise all the work, all the teams, all the thousands of people that put, you know, their life into this mission, and just for them to sort of see that take flight today. Of course, the science team, this was kind of sprinting to the start line for them, because their real work starts in a few weeks when the instruments start to be commissioned. NASA, of course, is just very honoured to be a member of this team. At NASA, we have a very wide portfolio. We really do value any time that we can have really solid international partnerships, really allowing us to just do more science. And, you know, of course, we study some lofty goals as scientists. You know, we sort of think about, are we alone in the universe? You know, what is causing our universe to expand? These really big questions. And with Euclid, we've started to really just ignite this whole new way of looking at our universe and allowing us to do this amazing science. And of course, then paving the way for NASA's Nancy Grace Roman spacecraft that will be doing similar science but in a different way. So I really love it. You know, I'm a solar scientist, obviously, and you know the partnership between Parker Solar Probe and Solar Orbiter unlocked so much solar science that we were never able to do, and clearly the partnership with Euclid and Roman is just going to unlock so much of our dark universe and allow us to do that, and then lead forward into the new Habitable Worlds Observatory, which we're all really excited about taking those first steps at NASA. So once again, thank you very much for including me in this incredible day, and congratulations once again. Go Euclid.
Thank you. So for telescopio space, I would like to share with you a big sense of pride, being part of a big pride for that program. It's a very ambitious and very unique program, and obviously delivering key results related to dark energy and dark matter, working basically or trying to understand the origin of the expansion of the universe in that let's say, negligible location. I think it's something that we can be very proud of. And for telescopio space, we have in fact a vision. We call it Space for Life, meaning space at the service of humanity, and this program illustrates very well our vision. It's also a long effort. Today is a milestone, as we said. It's at the end of the road. We still have to demonstrate a number of things, but it's a key milestone happening exactly 10 years after the initiation of the program. The program was started back in July 2013, so exactly 10 years ago. And it's a result of, indeed, a very strong and big effort from all the teams. As we said before, it has been a big organization, big team that we have basically worked together, that we have basically coordinated as a global prime of the program. We said it, 80 companies, 80 countries, no, it's 80 companies, I think, altogether. 440 contracts, SMEs, another LSI was involved in this program, Airbus as well. And we worked also with the scientific community that has been key in this program, national academies and scientific institutions. And obviously with ESA and national agencies. When we zoom into telescopio space, I would like first to thank and to congratulate the telescopio space team that has been involved. It's altogether 150 people that have been involved in that program. It's also an international program from Telescopio Space perspective, because the program was conducted from Italy, from Turin, and what Kunyu is just today heading this organization. But there were also strong contributions from France, from Spain, and from Belgium within Telescopio Space. And as a matter of fact, I said it's a 10-year endeavor, and 90% of the team that is here today working on the program was here 10 years ago. So it shows how much passionate people are and how much dedicated they are to their programs. But I would say that the cooperation was obviously also, I think, one of the key for this achievement has been the very strong cooperation between the teams with ESA. We were talking about it also before with Joseph. One of the, let's say, key success factors has been the very strong cooperation spirit that has prevailed with the agencies, with ESA of course, but also within the industrial team. That has been mandatory for that program, especially when you see that we had to go through the COVID. That COVID has been quite a long time for that program. And so this program is obviously coming after a long series of scientific programs, showing, let's say, our dedication to science and also our strong competence in that domain. After Cassini Games, that was also a very important program with NASA, ESA, and ASI at that time. The Herschel and Planck mission as well, and some exploration programs in which we have been involved: Mars Express, Venus Express, BP Colombo, and the famous Rosetta. We are also obviously preparing the future. As an example, and other missions to come. So I think it's a very important milestone today. Let's obviously monitor what's going to take place in the next hours and months. But I think we can already say that it has been a great achievement up to now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.